So remember, they're changing my voice. So when I think about, the nicer Jewish people, the nicer people of every race, Asians, Hispanic, black, white, Semitic, Native American, you name it. Every race you can imagine, every group you can imagine. Okay, let's picture that we're in the Middle East. Okay, and here are these people mixing together. There's a lot of trade route people. People breed with various races, like like Moses taking his Cushite wife. Okay, so there's a bunch of gene expressions, and the genes are kind of scattered. Some people who call themselves one group, one race, or group Philistines or whatever, they actually have some genes that are more like, we'll say the God gene to keep it simple is Igbo, right? More like this kind of Igbo African, okay? And some people, the Jews, have more like an Igbo African gene and so on. So it's spread out in these various groups, okay? And it's kind of like Bell from you know to some degree it's there. It seems to be there, or people like that in the movies and so on and so forth. And a lot of them are sleeping with the Babylonians. We'll just say the main devil gene, to keep it simple, it seems to be expressing itself culturally in Babylon. Okay, and so here I am from some kind of heroic village, some kind of heroic group of people. King Hart hut, right? A very simple kind of life, not too expensive house, but better than a lot of houses. But really quaint. And there's Babylon with all their technology and power and metallurgy and alchemy and their sciences and so on and so forth. And they're arguing that means God has gifted them, right? And they love orgies and brute force and violent sex and rape and so on and so forth. And they're arguing that that's a part of it. And so they also know that a lot of people don't like those things, so they're trying to make it subtle. They're trying to work the angles using psychology to win people over. And I'm saying to everybody, I'm saying, you know, come out of Babylon. Okay, and the Babylonians are like everywhere you look. There's tons of them. They're dominating the Middle East in terms of flesh-based dominance. Okay, and I'm saying to you, I'm saying to the nice Hispanic lady, I'm saying to, the young Jewish boy, I'm saying to everybody, the kind of the shy, reserved Asian female, okay, the kind of Ethiopian graceful female, saying it to the African American female, I'm saying it to everybody. I'm saying, come out of Babylon. Don't let them poison your soul. Okay, and things are starting to get heated. Okay, for a while we have little skirmishes because they really start coming after me and they leave me with no choice, and I'm defending myself. Boom, boom, boom. Slicing them down, chopping them up. They're getting shot with arrows. The arrows are stones, and arrows are barely missing me, and it's getting heated. And eventually they capture me. What are people supposed to do? Right? They're supposed to just say, well, it was good while it lasted. Or are they supposed to say he's right and stand with me and accept being screened out? The situation is very similar to that, except for it's a modern situation. America is a trade route center, like the Middle East is like one big trade route region. There's all kinds of, trade routes that connect to different trade routes that go all the way into Asia and so on and so forth. Okay, who knows? The trade routes might have even went all the way to America. We really don't know, you know. Just because you haven't discovered artifacts yet doesn't mean you know what happened. There's a way by sea, there's a way by, island hopping and so on and so forth. And, you know, crossing over there, as you go east of Asia, right, Eurasia, and you go into the Americas. So there's no telling what the details were there, but the similarities are strong, very strong. And we see, just like a plant after all these years is still a plant. A bird after all these years is still a bird. And so are these kind of natural gene expressions in the human genome. There's a sort of species divergence that was taking place that was interrupted by the mixing with people, and now will never come into true fruition because the essence of the moral divergence is being cut short. Okay, so we see the RNA patriarchal gene expressions, and we see people, by their actions, they shouldn't really be bothered by me saying this because they've gone so scientific and they're talking about gene alterations, transhumanism, eugenics, right? Eugenics with technology, and they're using, you know, modern technology to influence your reproductive habits, which is extremely unnatural. It's insane to pretend that I'm wrong. Okay, it is not natural to modify the genes. It is not natural to explore the idea of putting chips in the brain. They don't allow for a true moral and the essence of natural, supernatural divergence. Mankind is not smart enough to play God and to create the moral divergence that was occurring. Pretty straightforward. Can you read the Bible and say that this is not the case? And say, no, that's not the case. God made a covenant with the Jews and they could do whatever they want and screen out whoever they want and make romantic thefts all day and night. Why? Because of Bill Gates? People who are like Bill Gates? Because of Israel? Because of New York guys? Because of the dominant oppressor among the Jews and the not the recessive, but the meek Jews who just kind of do what they say? Because of Hoggle and Jared together are chosen no matter what? It doesn't make sense. They have a chance to be chosen. Right? Respect is earned. Divinity is earned. Heaven is earned. It's not just given. There's no peace for the wicked, says the Lord. And in many ways, because of the adversity, it is better to not be labeled chosen and to become chosen than to be labeled chosen and become chosen, or to be labeled chosen and not become chosen. Like it says in Proverbs, don't claim a place among the king. It is better for him to call you up there than for him to embarrass you in front of all his officials. So I say to the Jews to step out of that embarrassment. Your leaders are embarrassing you. When I say to the white man, your leaders are embarrassing you. And to every race, your leaders according to your embarrassment. In terms of your actual embarrassment, not necessarily what you feel. They're embarrassing you and disrespecting you and your family far more than you might believe on your worst day that I'm disrespecting you. I'm giving you a chance. I'm chastising you. Do not resent the Lord's rebuke, whether it comes from somebody who argues against what you're trying to do every day or not. I am the only one who's truly being a friend to you all. They are encouraging you to do the wrong thing. Like drug addicts turning the new guy out and the new girl out. Like the porn industry turning the new girl out. They are encouraging you to do the wrong thing, and they're encouraging you to delight in evil. Just because they're delighting in evil with you doesn't mean that they're your friend. I am the best friend that you people have. Greater love has none than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friend, even if they don't go to heaven, but you tried your damnedest to bring them to heaven, and you lay down your life. And I laid down my health, and I laid down my relationships, and my family even turned against me at times. Betrayed by everyone to bring you to God. So let's look at John 18 real quickly. 11. Jesus commanded Peter, put your sword away. Shall I not drink the cup the Father has given me? He didn't say it's wrong to strike someone down no matter what. That's one of the biggest misconceptions in the Bible. He said, let this thing play out because this is the purpose. When I say to you people, obviously, is pick your swords up and join me. Your swords of Scripture. If they come to rape and kill your kids or something, yes, you can resist them. Don't flip out and assume they are. Have a solid methodology to defend yourself, which is should be 100% approved by law and law enforcement. Regardless of who it is, be ready to defend yourself. Insist on your freedom of speech and your freedom of religion. Pick up your cross. Drink the cup in a good way that God has put there for you. Join my wedding banquet. Verse 36, Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by the Jewish leaders. But now my kingdom is from another place. So he said, if the move was to fight, then he would fight. He said, my kingdom is in the spiritual realm. If Israel, for example, was actually a holy nation, then we would fight to defend it. If America was actually part of the kingdom of God, we would fight to defend it. America had that chance, and they turned it away. They said, persecute him, and said, give us Barabbas. We don't care if it's the end. Some people with their head down. Some people cried. but they all chose rebellion. That's fine. This is just this is just land that you're standing on. It's just a man-made construct, psychologically made construct called America. What matters is your soul and your kids' souls. What matters is the purpose of life. And even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe that you have a soul, certainly you must believe in the principles of living a righteous life, and that being greater than a long, wicked life, where you use psychology to pretend it's not so bad. Your emotions mean nothing. Step into principle, step into true fulfillment, and learn why I'm right. Share in being right with me. Share in being vindicated by principle and God. Share in living a truly respectable life. Join me and come out of Babylon. I am the gate. I wait. What is your fate? Will you be late? Will you be misled by who they want you to be, to have as a mate? Will it be a date one way or another? Whether it be a female or a date on the calendar, what is going to cause you to either succeed or fail? Leave Babylon. Those who turn out the kids, those who turn a blind eye when their children's stepfathers abuse them, leave their sick spirit, those creeps who harass you, those bloodthirsty corporatists, leave their corporations. Leave their bedrooms. Leave their sexual abuse and sexual control. Leave sexual sadism. Leave penguin-like abuse. Penguin from Batman. Leave their Hellraiser culture. Leave heavy metal and rock and roll. Come into the true meaning of life. Nothing is cooler than being right with God. Cool is just not the perfect word for it. These rock and roll stars, these rap stars are not cooler than I am. They don't love you like I do. They aren't the top martial artist. They are but a corporate shell with some worldly talents. With all due respect, if any is due, leave Babylon and the Babylonians. Come out of her, my people. Stop letting them poison your soul. Stop rotting in their Babylonian demon hell spirit. Leave your indulgence in your fancy restaurants and clothes and cars, and learn how that is nothing compared to the Spirit of God and knowing you're doing the right thing. Learn how righteousness is greater than elegance and wealth and indulgence. Learn firsthand. Leave their secret societies. Leave their arrogant social control. You sought a refuge in the wrong place. Seek refuge in God. The storm is here. Christ is here. Seek refuge in God Almighty. Almighty, the true refuge. Build in the refuge, the wise builder, the lost pearl. Give all you have to be in the true Spirit of God. Form with me a moral committee. Let's form our own government, our moral government. I'm not talking about overthrowing the American government. I'm talking about a moral government. Stand with me for righteousness in the war on poverty plan. Stop indulging in your position, in the fruits of wickedness, the fruits of the snake from the Garden of Eden, in your position in the New World Order. Those of you act like you're not in the New World Order. Are you obeying the order of the corporate state, which is doing the globalist work? Then yes, you're in the New World Order. Janitors, even homeless people, are in the New World Order. They accept the boundaries of satanic people. Stop watching your life get wasted. Stop watching your life pass you by. Stop watching your soul pass you by. Stop watching your kids rot and pretend because you enjoy being with them that it couldn't possibly be going on. It is. How many people have cancer and they don't know it? Have STDs and they don't know it? Just because you don't perceive there to be wickedness causing the destruction of something doesn't mean it's not there. Learn to open your mind's eye in reality with moral precision, mental clarity, true mental clarity. and not mind tricks and see things for what they are.